Today in our 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500, we're going to be installing Mighty Cord's fifth wheel gooseneck trailer wiring harness with 7-pole connector. You can get this in a 7-foot or 10-foot length. This wiring harness is going to take your factory 7-pole connector that's at the back of your vehicle and reposition it up here while maintaining the one that's still at the back. What's nice about this is if you have a trailer you haul out of your hitch, you can use the one at the back. But when you hook up your fifth wheel, you've now got easy access to plug your fifth wheel in with the one that's located in your truck bed. The connector itself has a spring-loaded lid that makes sure it stays shut when not in use to keep out any moisture, ensuring a long-lasting connection. On the inside, when we open the lid, there's a rubber seal on here to help keep that moisture out even further. And our 7-pole connector. It comes with all the hardware you need to get it installed. Let's show you that now. We'll begin our installation by determining where we want to put our 7-way connector. We're going to be putting ours in the back where our bed juts out here. So we want to find about the right height that we want it. We're going to keep it kind of low. We're going to put it about here. So I like to mark it so I know where I'm going to be putting it. And we're just using a paint stick here to make the marks. This will just give us a general idea of where it's going to be. We'll now drill our pilot hole in the center with a 1/4-inch drill bit. Then we're going to use a 2 1/8 inch hole saw. It tells you to use a 2-inch, but that extra 1/8 inch really makes it easier to get your wiring in, and you won't notice the extra 1/8 inch because it'll be covered up with your connector here. If you've got spray-in liner like this, I recommend starting with your hole saw going backwards. This will clean off that paint and everything to get down to the metal surface. If you marked it out like I did, then you're going to want to clean it off now and get that paint stick off of there. You can use some soapy water and a rag to get it off. We'll take some clear enamel to spray the hole we just cut. This will just help prevent against any rust and corrosion in the future. Now I'm going to take my wiring. We're going to take the end that just has the single connector. We're going to feed it up from the bottom towards our hole. We'll now plug in our 7-pole end to the connector. We can now we'll line it up so it's even and insert our self-tapping screws. It doesn't really matter on your first screw if it's not perfectly level. You can level it when you put your second one in. We're now going to adjust that until it's level and insert the other screw. And the rest will go in just the same. We're using a 1/4-inch socket to tighten all these down. We can now clean up all the metal shavings and mess we made. We'll just vacuum that up. We'll now need to disconnect our electrical connector on our existing 7-pole connector. There's a locking tab here that we're going to need to pry out with our screwdriver. Once you've got that out of the way, you can press in on the release tab and pull your connector off. We'll now route our wiring up above the frame and over towards our other connector. We can now take some dielectric grease. We're going to squirt it on our connectors. This will just help keep out any moisture to ensure a long-lasting connection and prevent corrosion. We'll take our factory connector that we disconnected from our 7-pole connector. We're going to plug that into the male end of our new harness. You can, if you want, you can put the locking tab back on as well that we had removed. That simply pushes back down on there. We'll now take our other end here, and this is going to plug back into our 7-pole connector. All that's left now is to take your excess wiring, coil it up, and zip tie it with the ones included in the kit. Now we'll test it out and make sure everything's working properly. To test it, you'll just want to plug in your fifth wheel into your connector here, or if you have a tester, you can plug that in. We're going to be using our tester. And now we'll operate all of our lights and make sure it's working properly. You'll want to make sure you have your left turn signal, right turn signal, tail lamps, and brake lamps. With everything working properly, we're ready to hit the road. And that completes our installation of Mighty Cord's fifth wheel gooseneck wiring harness with 7-pole connector on our 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500.